All right, well, welcome to a new solo SWADE series. My name is Mike, here at Mike Rolls Dice, and today we're going to be embarking on a little journey here. I've been wanting to play some solo SWADE, tried in the past and struggled, so this is our attempt here, and I'm giving it a good, honest effort. So we're going to be using the Fantasy Companion, the Pathfinder for SWADE, Bestiary and Companion as well, and obviously the SWADE core rules. So I'll have links down to those below if you want. So we are in the Dark Lands, and currently there was a war that was raging on between a very powerful blue dragon and a clan of giants. And this war was raging on for decades. Now, at the start of this war, this dragon created an army of dragon folk using magic powers and whatever means that dragons use to create an army. I guess that's one thing we could figure out. And our young dragon folk ranger here, Frygazar, was created as well. So Frygazar is part of this army that was fighting the giants, and over decades the war raged on, and after a while the blue dragon was victorious over the giants, probably ousted them from their stronghold, and a final defeat on a battlefield on these rolling grass plains. We'll call them the Avoran Plains. How about that? That's pretty simple. So here on this former beautiful rolling grass hills, now scorched hellscape essentially, you see a scene of slaughter and death, essentially. This blue dragon is here with his army of dragon folk, and standing victorious, you see on the battlefield there are dead beastmen and all sorts of strange creatures and giant abominations and stuff like that. The blue dragon is here, which we need a name for that, so we're going to need to figure that out, but is there on the battlefield victorious with his army, summons them, says, "Come, my children." You could see they all kind of flock around him. Now, at this point, our young dragonborn ranger, dragonfolk ranger, I'm sorry, this isn't that other game, and his little drake companion are actually out, probably off, returning from their final mission. I guess now's a good time to probably talk about Frygazar. Fry specialized in range combat and was given a drake companion, using his Beastmaster skills to control and distract the enemy with vicious flanks from his drake companion. He would engage in special operations, go behind enemy lines, disrupting the giants' war effectiveness, things like that. So finally, after years of bloody combat, the dragon is there. He's summoning his army. We know that, and Frygazar is probably on his way back from a mission, probably his last special operation, to go and sabotage a giant outpost, perhaps, or an armory, let's say, right? And as the mist is on the battlefield and you see the kind of light, we'll say it's like an early morning, the sun is starting to crest over the hill after a vicious battle at night, and Frygazar is returning from his mission, and he sees the dragon, all the dead giants on the field, and seemingly a victorious war effort from his brothers and sisters and his leader. And we see at this moment, the dragon is drawing his dragon warriors closer, his dragon folk warriors closer. Fry makes his way out of the forces, is on the edge, and he kind of sees the carnage that was in front of him. And at this moment, the blue dragon, bringing his children essentially all in front of him and around him, say, "Come closer." They kind of move around this way. At this point, the dragon slashes out with its claws, taking out some of the dragon folk in the front, and then immediately launches a couple breath weapon attacks as this blue electric cloud of pure energy flies out of its mouth and scorches. He does the same. You could see as commanders and generals laying absolute carnage and waste to his own children, essentially. And at this point, we look over, and Frygazar and his companion are there, his little drake, So Frygazar is standing there. He sees the carnage unfolding in front of him. Their beloved creator, this blue dragon, slaughtering his brothers and sisters right before his eyes, laying waste to everything in front of him. And at this point, Frygazar is probably stunned. From the start of this, he's just standing there, and it's almost like he's in pure shock of what's going on. And I'm assuming his little Drake companion, sensing the danger, starts tugging at his pant legs and is trying to get his attention, scratching him, but he's just standing there shell-shocked, essentially. And eventually, he snaps out of it. Alright, so we are going to start off with a chase here. I'm still learning some of the rules here with Savage World, so if I'm making mistakes, let me know, but we are going to lay out some cards here. Now, essentially, the cards are going to help signify the distances and the point at where you are in this chase scene. So we're going to lay out some cards here, and these are going to essentially demonstrate where they are in the chase scene. Our characters here are going to take some actions and either try and flee, for instance, in Frygazar's case, or the dragon trying to attack him with a breath weapon or catch up to him as well. So we're going to deal them in a row, and we're going to do 9. So okay, so we have our cards laid out. Okay, so we have our chase cards laid out. I'm going to be using the red dice to signify Frygazar, and the blue one to signify where the dragon is. So we'll put the dragon. The dragon's not in the chase, but let's say the dragon catches the either scent or perhaps the movement or just even the feeling that Frygazar is there and fleeing, because the dragon's blood is flowing through him. So I'm assuming she created or he created them. So I'm assuming that she can probably sense that they're around. In fact, let's just ask, is let's do our first mythic roll here. Is the dragon male? I'm going to give it 50-50. Yes, it is. Okay, so the dragon will pick up the scent, so we'll put them there. We'll say Frygazar now has been sprinting, has been running, so we'll put him right here on this card. So this is going to signify the distance between. What are we going to do here? Whose turn is it? Let's figure out. Let's go ahead, even though I should probably be using a different deck of cards, let's go ahead and use some cards here. So we have the dragon is a 3 and Frygazar is a 6. Okay, very good. Oh no, okay. So we've dealt out our initiative cards, essentially. And I believe when you get a clubs, that means we have a complication. So that's not good right off the bat. And we do have a club, 6 clubs. So he is going to go first. Now, Frygazar is running through the woods. Maybe you hear the sound of these wings, and a shadow passes over. Or he can just sense, get a visceral kind of gut feeling that he probably doesn't have long. He's getting chased. He's going to be going first. Now, you can take different actions on the chase here, but he's going to attempt to change positions. Does he want to evade? I think he's just going to take an actions and attempt to change positions. It's going to give him a +2 to his roll. Now, unfortunately, he got a clubs, which is a -2 modification to it. So he's going to have to take a maneuvering roll as a free action at the start of his turn. The suit of his current chase card is going to determine the modifier. So he has a diamonds, which is going to be a -2 to his maneuvering roll, and the character vehicle is bumped. Ooh, okay. So I think what's going to happen here, let's take a look at Frygazar's stats. He's got an athletics, so I think that's what we're going to be using for our maneuvering roll here. And he's going to attempt to change positions. Let's go ahead and roll our complication first, and then we'll attempt to change positions. Now, if I'm doing this wrong, you can feel free to let me know, but I'm not certain how this works. But so this is with a -2, it explodes, and that is a 8 with a -2. It is good. He's good. Otherwise, he would have been bumped, which the dragon would have been able to change his positions on the card. So that being said, we are good. He's going to attempt to change positions with an action, and that's going to give him a +2 to his roll. So let's see. Come on, Fraz. Running through the woods. Okay, with a +2 does not give us a raise, but that is enough to give Fry 1 move, and he's kind of made his way. I think that complication will say is perhaps as the dragon flew over, a tree branch falls down, he ducks out of the way, he's good to go, and he starts running through the woods and trying to make his way and get to safety. So now, there is a speed bonus. The dragon has 24-inch pace, so I believe that he's going to be getting a +2 to his bonus, and he is going to use his action to change position and try and speed up. So he's going to try and get 2 chase cards essentially forward and catch up. So we have the blue adult dragon. I'm just say flight is 24. We have an athletics of D6. So the dragon, which is also a wild card, rolling 2 dice, is getting a +4 to his roll. And that is with a 5, +4 is 9. That is with a raise, because you target number in Savage Worlds most of the time, the default target number is 4. So with a 9, that's with a raise, so he's going to move 2 action cards up. Back to Frygazar. All right, next turn, the dragon has moved up, gotten closer. Now we're going to deal our cards again. Ooh, that is not good for Fry. Oh, he just missed it. All right, so the dragon is up. He got a king here. Now I don't think character, I think this is just for the characters, so there's no complications here. The dragon's going to attempt to essentially just take a multi-action because he can't breath weapon on the turn that he moved. That's something I had a mistake before. So he's going to just essentially take an action and just try and move. He's going to get a +4 to this. And with a 5 is a 9, he does in fact with the raise. And now I believe the way that this works is now they have caught us. All right, so the dragon has caught up. That doesn't stop the chase, but what that means is that he's going to have to, I believe, attempt to attack us and while we're running. So I believe we get to still run. I don't know if I'm doing this right, but this is how we're going to do it because it's fun. The dragon flies over, whoosh, probably swoops down and with his claws and almost catches Frygazar as he ducks and rolls. Now essentially the dragon has caught up. So it's Frygazar's turn. He has spades, which is not a complication. He now is going to try and get away. Now, this is not good. So I'm going to say he's going to start looking around and seeing, like, if there's something he can use to his advantage. Is there perhaps, like, a cave system around he can try and duck into? I'm going to say it's unlikely at the moment. But let's go ahead and let's just make a notice roll on his part, I think. He's got a D6, if I'm not wrong. That is a 5, so perhaps he does see something. So I'll say it's somewhat like... I'll say it's... Where's our mythic? Let's break out our mythic chart here. So I'm going to say it's unlikely, so I'm giving it a slightly better chance. Which, by the way, our current chaos factor is at 5, so haven't really gone too much into the mythic stuff, but there's tons of information online about that. So let's go ahead and roll here. So it's going to be a 35 or less. And a 23, there's something that he sees that we'll say is probably maybe 1 card ahead, about 100 yards ahead he can see, or like 50, 60 yards ahead, he could see some sort of dark opening to this in the hillside where these trees are kind of jutting out of. Which, by the way, I took it because he had a success on his notice. I took it from like an impossible or something, a very unlikely chance to just unlikely. So what he's going to do is he's going to take his full action here, and he is going to change positions and try and get to that card. He can try and go in there, but the chase won't be done. And I don't know how deep this cave is, so he's going to try and move forward. We'll say it's 2 cards ahead because we're still in this chase scene. So he's got to get 2 cards ahead here because he sees off in the distance this hillside. He can see this dark opening, this hole, which appears to be perhaps some sort of cave or something. So he's going to take his full action here, and he's going to be adding +2. So, all right, come on, Fry. Get moving. +2 is a 6. That is just enough to move 1. I guess we'll take it at this point. And he does have a free action to evade, so he's just going to be doing that, which is not a... I believe we don't get a minus penalty. Now, he's not getting -4. He's just getting -2 to any attacks. Let's see initiatives here. Boom, boom. All right, dragon is up. The dragon is going to move forward, and not as an action, just as a free action. So he's getting his +2 from his speed bonus, and then he is going to take a attack. I think with his claws. Let's say, yeah, let's say with his claws. Ooh, that's dangerous. Now we did evade, so it's going to be -2 to that. So first off, let's see if his movement here, change in positions. And with a +2, that is a success. He does make it to Fry, as Fry's running through desperately as fast as he can, trying to get to this hillside, this cave opening he thinks he sees. And now this is going to be at a -2. Ooh, fighting is a D10. Oh, this is not looking good for Fry. All right. Dragon's gonna take a claw. It's with a -2, and that's a 3 and a 4 because we evaded, and that is just enough. As this dragon swoops down with its claw, you see its claw becomes almost a electric, as these lightning and electric jolts shoot off of its claws as it swoops down and probably just brushes the back of Frygazar here as Chanchitos, his Drake companion, jumps off to the side. So now Fry is up. He just needs to make it one more card, and then I'm gonna give him a roll, a stealth roll, to try and run away. But this is gonna be at a disadvantage. So no matter what, this dragon's probably gonna see him. All right, so we're gonna take our full action to move, and then we are going to then make a stealth roll to see if we can break off and go into this cave. So that's gonna be a -2 penalty to the stealth, but because we're taking our full action here for the chain's position, it's just going to be at a straight 4. No, that is not enough. I think I'm going to spend a Benny here. Now, Fry does have 3 Bennies. I have my nice Benny tokens at my buddy's house because I'm running a Savage Worlds game. So he's got 3. I'm just going to mark that down to 1 or 2, and he's going to re-roll. And that's a 5. With the +2, but because of the minus, it's enough. He gets, so it's just straight 4. With a 5, he's good. He makes it to the next card. And now he's going to have to attempt to make a stealth roll. Now his stealth is, let's take a look here. It's just a D6. Now this is going to be with a -2 because he's taking a multi-action. Let's see what he can do here. And that's just a 2. No, he runs towards this cave entrance, but the dragon sees and probably like whoosh, a breath weapon shoots out and blocks his path for a second as he tries to run to it. So now let's see. We have a 6 for the dragon with a clubs and but there's no complication for them, and a 5. So this dragon is going to again move itself and then make a attack with a +2. Yes, it gets to him. Let's see, with a D10 here. It's gonna swipe with its electric claws again as it rears back. Oh, that's cocked, but that's a D6. That's a 6. Oh, okay. Multi-action again, misses. Frygazar jumps around to the side. I'm gonna say, so the dragons, the way that we're playing with the Benny's Villainous Conviction, or the Benny's for the wildcard dragon. So the dragon's gonna re-roll that as it attempts to hit here. Ooh, and that explodes with a 10. And that's 11 with -2 is gonna be 9. So that is, what's Frygazar's parry is a 5, so that's with a raise. Oh, this is not good. As the claws swoop down and connect, this jolt of electricity surges through Frygazar as the claws slash at him and rip through his leather armor. So that's going to be strength, which... Oh, no. D12 plus 3 strength. So D12 plus 3 strength, a D8, and a D6 electricity plus a raise. Oh, this is not good. Is he gonna... Now, we are playing with wound cap, so he doesn't die right away. He had one more, you know, he'll take 3 wounds, but oh, this is not good. All right. Oh, that could have been a lot worse, but that's still really bad. This was a 5, so this is 16 points of damage. Now, Fry has a toughness of 11 and 6 armor, and this is AP2, so the AP2 is going to cut down 2 of the armor. Okay, so that is a... Fry is now shaken and wounded as the claws slash through and get through his armor. So this is not good. That we are not starting off well at the moment. We have wounded and shaken for our adventurer here. All right. Now, he did evade, but man, that it didn't matter. That dragon, you know, those exploding dice. All right, let's go, Fry. Let's get out of here, man. Now, he sees this cave entrance, but the dragon's kind of blocked him and swooped down and landed right in front of this cave entrance, swiped down with his claws and connects. I think he's going to have to try and... I think we're in combat now at this point, so I think what he's going to have to do is try and get through that, get to that cave. In fact, I'm just going to say, yeah, we're pretty much in combat at this point now, so he could still attempt to run, But I think he is going to try and get into this cavern system off to the side. I think that's all he can do. So what we're going to do here is he is going to leave. Oh, he's shaken. So, okay, first, before we do anything, we got to try and see if he kicks being shaken. So that is a spirit roll. Now, he does have a D8 in spirit, which this is good. We need this. Come on. We could always spend a Benny, but he explodes. Very good. He is wounded with a -1, but he's good with a... So it's a 7. Now, does he want to... I think he's going to disengage here. And he's going to just use his full movement to try and get away and play some... Nah, this is... I mean, we're really in a rough shape here, but he's just going to move as much as he can here. So let's see. He's just going to move and try and get off to the side here. Now, all right, so he's not shaking anymore. Let's get rid of that, by the way. All right, we are off to a terrible start. A 2, which is good, and a queen. He's still probably quite a distance from this cave. We'll say it's probably like a good 50 yards or something. So he's going to dash off and just run as best as he can. Now, the dragon is going to take flight and take off. So this dragon is up in the air, we'll say, probably somewhere up here, flying around, and is going to fire his stream template of electricity. And we are going to have to attempt to evade this at a -2, this breath weapon. So it said unless otherwise noted, you can attempt to evade it. So, all right, here we go. Oh, that's a 6. It explodes. Come on, Fry. You can... Oh, another 6. Woo! Okay, that's a 15, but -2. With a -3 because he's wounded. All right, very nice. So that is with a raise. So not only does he sees this dragon roar back and this electricity start to crackle around its mouth and its throat as you see this blue light kind of working its way up its throat towards its mouth as it opens up its mouth, and this lightning bolt shoots out and he jumps out of the way. Now we actually need to as well roll for our Drake friend here. All right. Okay, we have a little cheat sheet here for our Drake companion. Chanchitos! Chanchitos! Frygazar yells out, Chanchitos! Get out of the way! We have an agility of D8. So, he's not a wild card though, I forgot. He is a beast companion, he is not a wild card. He is able to take 2 wounds, so he is resilient. This is kind of a custom stats that I took the fantasy companion Drake and scaled it down to a smaller creature. So let's see. Come on, Chanchitos! With a -2. No, Chanchitos gets hit! Oh no, this is terrible. Alright, this is going to be 4d6 lightning damage. Oh. Oh no, and Chanchitos' toughness is 7. Oh. Okay, at least we don't explode, so that's 2. That's 12. Oh god, this is not good. Okay. So that means that he's going to just take a wound and be shaken. All right. So he's able to take 2 wounds, by the way. So thank God he has the resilient feature. But that is not good. He is shaken, though. All right. We just got to get past this dragon and get into this cave for the love of God. Okay. A 9. Fry is up again. Come on, Fry. You got this. We have 2 bennies left. Okay. So what they're going to do is I think they're going to just get out of dodge. What I'm going to say is that he's going to actually fire his arrow at the dragon's eye to attempt to essentially just like test it to give it a negative modifier. Yeah, I think we're going to do a test here, a multi-action. We're going to do a test by shooting with our bow at the dragon, and then he is going to sprint. The way I do it is that I just allow, this is like a home where I allow my players to just move their double their movement essentially when they run, but we are getting a -2 modifier. So we also are wounded, by the way, so this is actually going to be pretty tough. This is going to be with a -3. Fry's going to shoot his bow and try and hit this dragon right in the eye to distract it, essentially, give it a -2. Let's see what he's got here. This is with a -2. Unfortunately, does not do it. And it would be an opposed roll, so he shoots, but it glances right off, and he is going to, with Chanchitos, run. Chanchitos pushes along. Come, Chanchitos! And he's going to move essentially as far as he can. And we're still not out of the woods yet, so this is... oh, and now it's the dragon's turn. The dragon swoops around whoosh, whoosh, and rears back up for another breath weapon here as we run towards the edge of this cave. So he's going to try and hit both of us. Now, we're going to get to evade again. All right, come on, Fry. You got to get out of here, dude. Oh, explodes again right when we need it. And that is with him. So essentially, we get a 6, which is perfect. He jumps out of the way. And again, we'll see if Chanchitos can get out of the way. Chanchitos! Oh, he explodes. Yes, let's go. All right. And he's going to evade as well. Again, I don't know what the deal is. I'm going to say that our X's don't get shaken. I got to look that up, but usually they just die, but he's resilient. But he is able to jump out of the way even with the -3 penalty and not take any damage as this dragon swoops over and shoots some electricity at it. He has a little bit more to go and he can get to this cave. I'm trying to make this as dramatic as I can as this dragon swoops around. We can't make this too easy. I'm trying to save Fry. All right, so Fry's up. Let's go, Fry. Let's get the hell out of Dodge. He's gonna move his full movement with his loyal companion Chanchitos, and he is right there. I think if he can just survive this last moment here, he's gonna be able to get into that cave opening. I don't think that means he's out of the woods yet. We'll see how large this cave opening is. But this dragon is going to attempt to fly in, and what is he going to do? Is he going to claw attack, land and claw attack, or is he going to... I think he's going to breath weapon again, because it's been so effective, and it's so much damage. So he's swooping out. Whoosh. Another breath attack. So we need to dodge this with a D6. Come on, Fry, jump out of the way as this electricity shoots out at him. Oh no, and that's a critical failure. Oh no, we are playing with dumb luck, so we can spend a Benny to re-roll that, but a critical failure is going to happen, so he might lose a piece of gear as he jumps off to the side. Oh no, okay. Well, he gets to re-roll it, but the critical failure trigger essentially happens still, so let's see. Come on, we got to get this. Oh, he explodes. Let's go. Okay, an 8 with the wounded and the -2. He dodges, but something happens, and we'll figure out what. And now, Chanchitos with a 6. He's wounded. No, he doesn't make it, unfortunately, because it's a -3, so he's going to take another 3d6 damage. Oh my god. And unfortunately, one more wound and he's dead, so... oh no. So we need to roll 4 ones. No, Chanchitos, no! As the dragon it probably just lands right in front of him. Boosh, as this massive creature hits the floor, and it rears up. It shoots its breath weapon out. Frygazar jumps off to the side, and then he goes to leap to the side, but unfortunately he perhaps hits there's trees in the way or bushes or something. He can't move in time as this stream of electricity hits him and just almost incinerates him as he goes up in a blaze. Chanchitos dies. No, Chanchitos, my beast companion. Frygazar, though, sees this and, oh my god. Okay, so this is bad. We can try, he's not dead, he's incapacitated. I'm just gonna say he's burnt to a crisp laying on the ground, but this is not good. He's incapacitated, alright. Oh god, we're off to a bad start. Alright. Oh, thank god the action cards are in my favor. Thank god. Okay, I think this is what Fry's gonna do. He's wounded. I'm gonna say he's probably, if he's not exhausted, he's close to it. Fatigued, So he's going to pick up Chanchitos. Now, he's gonna probably take an attack here. He's probably gonna get really hurt, because we'll say the dragon's pretty much right there and has the range, right? But he's going to run up. He's going to take an action to pick Chanchitos up in his arms. He looks up at his creator, his father, essentially, which we still haven't determined the dragon's name. We'll get to that, though. We got to figure that out. And maybe we don't even know his true name, And he looks up and he goes, "You betrayed us! You've slaughtered my sisters and brothers! How could you, father?" And the dragon probably looks down, snarls. "It's probably something he's done many times, like raise the dragon folk army, and then when he's done with them, slaughter them. And just snarls and goes, "It's just business." Or something like that, you know? And Frygazar is going to now have to leave, and unfortunately he's taking his action, so he can't, you know, he ran into combat, so he's going to take this dragon's going to take an attack on him as he runs off into the cave. So, I mean, this could go pretty bad. Now, he can't go down in one hit, but he can take 3 wounds, and then wherever we end up in this cave is going to be bad news. So this dragon is going to attack. Oh man, with its claws too. This is this is bad. Oh, we got a 4, which is not enough to beat our parry of 5. Let's go. But the dragon's gonna spend a Benny. Oh yes, let's go. It's not enough to beat our parry. And the dragon swipes down, but Frygazar kind of rolls off to the side with Chanchitos in his arms, and he takes one last look at his creator and runs off into this cave. Cut to this cave. Now, I'm curious, let's ask the Mythic here. Is this cave opening large enough for an adult blue dragon to get through? I'm gonna say this is probably unlikely, but we'll see how much the dice hate me today. So far, they haven't been too bad. I would have thought by now we'd be at 3 wounds, but so with a chaos factor of 5 and at unlikely, I'm gonna say it's unlikely because he could see it off from a distance, so it's probably not that small, right? So that's a 35. Let's see what we get. That's a 23. Didn't we just roll a 23 before? Okay, so yeah, we definitely aren't in good shape. The hole is large enough to get in, but I'm going to take a little bit of creative freedom here and say that this dragon has to kind of clamber through this opening. And as Frygazar makes his way into this cave, it looks like, or this cavern, he gets through. It's probably somewhat tight, and then it opens up into this space. And he can hear behind him the sound of the rocks as this dragon's clawing its way and getting its way in here. So we are not out of the woods yet. We need to get through this and find if there's a way out. It looks like there is potential ways. So let's see. Now, it's going to be somewhat dark in here. We're not probably that deep. Now, he does have low light vision, so he does have ignore the illumination penalties for dim and dark. So he could see some pretty good at the moment. But as he goes deeper, he might need to light a torch. We're still in combat here as this dragon's catching up. Ooh, and this dragon's with a cane. Oh, this is not good. So what I'm going to say is with that is this dragon probably uses its entire turn to clamber through and is just about to break through the entrance of this cave, and perhaps even is going to take a swipe attack because he kind of just gets within range, and you hear the whoosh as his claw swoops right past Fry here. But I'm going to say that was his full action. So Fry's up. He's going to have to, I think we're going to disengage here. He's still carrying Chanchitos in his arms. And he's running as best as he can. I'm going to say his pace is probably reduced because of it, right? Let's see. He's going to do a strength check. A strength test and see if he can kind of push himself. He is wounded, and no, so I'm going to say he can only really go about 6 feet. So it's going to put him about to here as he's carrying his Drake companion. And now, let's see, this dragon's going to enter this chamber here. Ooh, and that's an ace. This dragon is now kind of, we'll say, he's made his way through at this point. Perhaps try and distract this dragon in a way. So I'm going to say, let's see, what do we have here? What can we use at our disposal? We've got this bow. It's really all we got. I think what Fry's going to do is he's just going to book it, man. He's just going to, with Chanchitos, we're going to do a strength roll again, see if he can, in fact, oh, that's a 6, it explodes. Yep, 9, even with the minus, he is able to push himself and get through to this next section of the cave. And then the dragon is going to just move its full and try and, we'll say there's probably, it tightens up here and just try and swipes at him, but isn't able to. Perhaps is rearing back for a breath attack as we speak. As it gets tighter here, let's see, is this dragon able to get through here? I'm gonna, let's ask. It was large enough for it to get in, but we've gone deeper in this cave system. So I'm going to go ahead and say, let's see, I'm going to give it a very unlikely. So that's going to be a 25. 31, that was close. These dice don't like me. Let's see what happens. I think it'll be able to get a breath attack off at this angle. So Fry, luckily, is up, and he's going to run, and let's see if he can push himself again. I'm doing these strength rolls as just kind of a little way to see if, you know, while he's injured and carrying, simulate as he's trying to push himself to get around and run as fast as he can. Oh, and he's exploding. That's perfect. That's a 10 -1 because he's wounded. He's gonna go off and around here, and we'll say that the dragon sees him run around the corner, and now he is going to take a breath attack. And we'll say that it's, even though he's just gets around the corner, but that the walls of the cavern are reflective enough to the electricity. It's damp and moist in here that it's gonna potentially shock him. So let's see. This is gonna be an evasion roll. Now he's gonna have to jump with Chanchitos in his arms, so this is gonna be it's gonna be tough. So it's normally at -2, and he's wounded. I'm just gonna add another extra 1 in there to make it a -4. I could go -5 if I really want to be a sadist. I guess if I'm going by the rules, it is supposed to be -5. So let's see what happens here as he jumps out of the way, carrying Chanchita. Oh, he's exploding though. Let's go. Don't doubt the dice. That's a 8. It only makes it 3 because he's -5. So no, as the electricity hits him. Oh man, I got excited there for a second, but he's gonna take 4d6 damage. We'll say he's shielding Chanchitos, so Chanchitos isn't gonna die here, but okay, that could have been worse. That's 7, and so that's 9, which is still not enough to beat Frygazar's toughness. Luckily, oh, thank God this dragon's struggling with these rolls. So he jumps out of the way, but unfortunately the damage doesn't do enough to him for the dragon, but for us, fortunately. And now he is going to have to get out of here. Now we know the dragon can't get through there, but perhaps it can do something. So Fry is up. Well, I think at this point, Fry is able to get out of here and get out of dodge. So I guess we're gonna have to figure out what we are doing and where we are in this cavern. But what he does is he grabs Chanchitos and he gets out of here. He probably makes his way. You can hear the sound of this dragon roaring, and he gets in. It gets darker. He's probably feeling around, and I think we're gonna have to figure out where exactly and what exactly he is in. This cave system or what. But luckily for now, he has been able to get away, and that was extremely stressful. I was like, well, we have a big dragon, and yeah, he's gonna chase us. Now, one thing we need to do is we need to do a little bookkeeping here at the end of the scene. Our journal here, the chaos factor is 5. I'm gonna say that was extremely chaotic. So yeah, it might even go down, I think is what we do, but we gotta get our thread list here. So we have our thread list is, number 1 is we need revenge on the dragon. I think Frygazar is going to vow vengeance one way or another for all the destruction that this dragon has caused. Our next thread is we need to escape the caves. And the other thing is, now he's out here. Previously he was with this army and whatnot. He doesn't have a place to live or stay. He's going to have to find some sort of shelter. And now for characters, we are going to have the blue dragon, our overlord. We have the Dark Woods, which is where we are. Also the Ivoran Plains, which is the battlefield. And then we have this cave system. I believe I'm doing this right. So yeah, this is going to be interesting. Now, I'm not going to put Chanchitos on this list because he's kind of like part of our character here. But I very well could. I think, you know what? Why not? Because that'll add some craziness to it. So the current chaos factor is at 5, and the way that this works is when... Well, that was one first episode, eh? My audio stopped working here, so essentially I just do some bookkeeping. The chaos factor goes down to a 4 because things were so chaotic, and that's how the mythic works. And then here I roll up a name for the blue dragon, the creator of our protagonist Frygazar, and we end up with deeds, est, he, and ba. So we ended up with Bahamid after a little while. It's the fun thing with mythic is trying to come up with your own names. And now Fry needs to try and escape or figure out what is going on with this cave system, try and find a way out, and he's still reeling from the fact that essentially his leader, his creator, just tried to slaughter him and all of his kin, almost successfully. So he has a lot to figure out, and probably vengeance on the mind. So tune in next week as we see what happens to Frygazar as he tries to find his way out of here. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you on the next one.